Hello! So, what did I learn from my masterclass on editing? Yes, so basically, we did a masterclass on editing and Lisa Gunning took it, which was actually really interesting, and it was also quite fun because she had a great sense of humour, and a really good energy. So it wasn't just so much that we were just sitting there and listening. She actually was like telling great stories, and we got to watch some really great clips that she edited. So it was really, really entertaining for us as well. It wasn't dull. So, what did I learn? Well, she started out studying English. That's what she started studying. And she really enjoyed stories and kind of creating them herself and just really enjoyed them. Then she went into advertising. She became a runner round solo. Then she found a cutting room and liked the energy and decided to pursue it. So she's gone from English, went from a runner, and then she kind of went in, found a cutting room, and that's where she really, really liked it. So she started to pursue it. She wrote to the creator of The House. She wrote to the creator of The House and got rejected 5 times, but she did not give up, which is obviously quite hard to be knocked down, but she kept going at it because it's what she wanted to do. So she became Jonathan Glacier's assistant after stalking him. Well, that's kind of what she told us, but she found out where he was going and kept on nagging at him, which maybe sometimes isn't the best way, but she really wanted it, so she became his assistant. She got her own opportunity doing commercials, which is really amazing. Anything she could get her hands on, basically. She did the comic relief advert and started doing more and more great things, which is really sick. So editing being like working, it was about rhythm. The play was the music of dialogue and the rhythm of cuts. So basically this is what she told us about, kind of editing. She said it was about the rhythm, so when you played it, all the dialogue went on the rhythm of cuts. So you can't have random dialogue, you've got to kind of work out when it's going to be cut and everything like that, so you've really got to work on it. Commercials are quite interesting as you're trying to tell a story in a short time. This is the same as short stories. You've got to fill and compact everything in such a short space of time, but you want to make it interesting. So obviously having its ups and downs, you want to have its climax at the beginning so people get drawn in, which is really, really, really groovy. So the commercial did not have a set storyboard. They were written in the cutting room. It took 22 to 24 hours material to cut for a 60-second clip, and snippets of dialogue with a core spine. In the first one, Athlete's dialogue had no poetry. She found her own poetry and placed it over the top, which gave it something else. So basically, she had to do a commercial about athletes and running, which we got to watch, which was really sick, and she explained it all. And what she did was, she wanted to have not music. She wanted to have dialogue over the top, and she wanted a poem, but she ended up finding it herself. And 20 to 24 hours of putting all that kind of footage, and only for 60 seconds. So it really had to really nip and pick out the really important bits and cut it down. And the core spine of it was a dialogue, which was quite impressive. Using every frame to make the maximum. To make the maximum impact to tell the story. So obviously I just said you've got to really pick it and nip it out to really take it to its full. Commercials take about 3 weeks to make, whereas movies take about a year, but it only takes a year if you're working with the same people. So hypothetically, you're working with a whole new different cast, then it might take longer to obviously get to know the cast and how they work. So there was we really, really learned a lot, and also we learned kind of new things that I didn't know about this. On one of her kind of films she was doing, which had some really, really amazing actors in, some of them were from RADA, what she did was they had to talk really, really fast, and to get their cues, they lit up a spotlight on the actor's face. So there was 3 people talking, and they all were talking really fast, so la 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 la. But obviously it would be dialogue, and then all of a sudden the next person would have to come in. But for their cue, they shone a spotlight on their face. So when obviously they were blacked out, and when the spotlight came on their face, they started talking. And the editing that she really used some great also angles as well. She used extreme close-ups, and really kind of captured the real face and their real kind of emotions and expressions on their face by coming close up to their face. And I thought that was I really enjoyed learning about that, because obviously it's new ways of telling people how, like, when to come in, which was also really interesting. So overall, that is what I learned. Well, I learned a lot from really hearing about her masterclass. So yeah, thank you.